Have you been playing Modern Warfare 2 recently? And have you been grinding out those camos?
The visitors here at Melbourne Zoo, they may be...
If you're like me, then the answer is a resounding yes. Unlocking camos in Call of Duty is probably the main reason people play this game for so long. If you're grinding out camos, there is also a good chance you've been playing Shipment 24/7. Besides the flashbangs, predator missiles, knife users, riot shielders, thermites, rockets, shotties, gas grenades, sentries, drop shotters, and enemies spawning behind you, it's a pretty great map to unlock camos. But if you're really like me, Shipment is basically all you play, and you know that the objective will not be targeted. From our experience, Modern Warfare 2 has a pretty big issue. Besides the usual glitches and horrible UI, no one really bothers to play the objective. And unfortunately, I am a part of this problem as well. While it could be easy to chalk this up as selfish players playing selfishly, I don't think the majority of the blame should be put onto the players. Sure, there can definitely be selfish players who could care less for whether the team wins or loses, but this problem has existed in COD for a long time, and I believe I know why this issue has persisted for nearly every single COD game released. And I have a possible solution for the issue.
Bro, you not the thinker, let me...
The reason so many players couldn't be bothered to play the objective is because of two things: gun camos and a lack of incentive. Like myself and nearly every COD player out there, obtaining gold camo and beyond is the main drive for dealing with the rage this game induces. Obtaining gold for your weapons is not only a fun challenge that yields a pretty great reward, but also shows others that you're either a really good player or just incredibly persistent. For a while, obtaining camos in Call of Duty was a pretty challenging task, especially if you suck at the game like me. Things like get 50 headshots, acquire 20 long shot kills, kill 15 players while sliding, or the dreaded bloodthirsty challenges, obtaining camos in the past could be like running a marathon. Unless you were beyond schnasty at the game, getting gold for just one gun could take days, sometimes even weeks. With Modern Warfare 2 2022's release, they decided to dial it back with how many camos you needed to earn before you unlock gold. This was a positive change overall in my opinion. You only need 4 camos before the ability to unlock gold becomes available. Making it so players didn't have to go through a checklist of camos before receiving the one camo they actually want was a great change. I've been able to unlock gold camo for multiple guns in the same day. This is also helped by Shipment 24/7 and Shoothouse 24/7, which makes unlocking gold camo a breeze. However, I find myself only playing Shoothouse and Shipment and never bothering playing the objective like so many other players. But why? Incentive. Many players, including myself, only really play this game because of gun camos. That's all many of us care for, and to be honest, it's not like the game offers much incentive to play the objective anyway. This video is sponsored by you, potentially. If you didn't know, we made a Patreon a little while ago. If you'd like to support the channel and see us grow, consider throwing a bone our way. But if not, that's fine. The comments and likes we get from you all are enough support, and we really appreciate all of it. Thanks for being awesome. Now what the hell were we talking about? It's wrong to generalize the entire COD player base, so I don't want to say that all COD players are like this. I've been in games where players fought over the objective with the same tenacity as most Battlefield matches. But when it comes to the average game, most players don't care whether they win or lose. This is because most players are focused on unlocking gold, platinum, and other camos for their weapons. You might be thinking that this isn't taking into account all the players who play purely to increase their KD, and you're definitely right. Unfortunately, I don't think this piece of the issue can be mended. People play this game for many different reasons, but when it comes to KD sweats, there isn't much we can do to change the way they play. However, I fully believe that the majority of players who are playing the game without even looking at the objective are doing so to earn those sweet camos. And luckily, we may be able to tweak some things to get more players onto the B point. So, if incentive and camos are the issue, how do we go about fixing this? Well, there's always the option to remove camos from the game entirely. If there are no camos, then players wouldn't have much choice than to either play the objective or just quit the game entirely. This is a terrible idea because I and many players really like the challenge of unlocking camos in Call of Duty. Obviously, it's a terrible idea to just alienate a massive part of the player base to force some players to actually fight for the objective. The goal is to try and get players to work together to win the match, so we have to go with a solution that doesn't mess with either side's playstyle too much. If removing camos doesn't fix the issue, then what will fix the problem? Well, I thought of a way that could not only lead to more players playing the objective, but also get players to play other game modes as well. We merged the challenge of unlocking camos and playing the objective together. Here's an example. Let's say you have a challenge that requires you to get 30 eliminations while mounted with the weapon of your choice. This is just one of the many elimination-based challenges that players have to complete before they earn the coveted gold camo. What if we switch this challenge structure that requires players to take out other players in specific ways and make it so that those players have to complete certain objective-based challenges? Something like capture an enemy point 10 times in a domination match, or hold the headquarters for a total of 5 minutes while using this weapon. This way, players can still use the gun they want, but are also forced to play the objective if they want the camo. Now, this change might make certain players upset because they enjoy elimination-based challenges more than they would enjoy the objective-based challenges. To combat this, we'll only change 1 or 2 camo challenges from elimination-based to objective-based. This way, we don't completely get rid of those fun elimination-based challenges, but we still get players to play the objective. This may seem like a pretty big change, but Modern Warfare 2 hasn't shied away from changing up established systems. The weapon unlock system has been changed drastically with the new release. Now, to unlock the one gun you want, you have to unlock and use a few other weapons first and get them to a certain level. Once you unlock all the weapons necessary, you can finally use the weapon you want. This change has been controversial, and I have mixed feelings about it myself. On one hand, this new system forces you to use weapons you don't care for or maybe even hate. But on the other hand, this change might expose you to weapons that you didn't look twice at before, and maybe you'll even come to love them. Whether you like or hate this change, it shows that the developers at Infinity Ward are willing to try new things with already established systems. Another aspect of this change that will also help players experience all the pieces this game has to offer is with maps. Personally, the other maps in Modern Warfare 2 besides Shoothouse and Shipment, 2 maps that aren't even original, are horrible. They're incredibly dull, the locations are some you've seen countless times before, and it feels like some of them weren't even properly game tested. The only ones that stand out are the F1 map and the hotel map in Amsterdam. Compare this to the original Modern Warfare 2 that had maps like High Rise, Terminal, Favela, Rust, Afghan. All these maps had personality and were charming in their own unique ways. While this is part of a larger issue, that being that the map designers are pretty shit at designing maps, forcing players to play the objective to unlock camos would also force them to play the other maps the game offers. While Shoothouse is a great objective and elimination based map, Shipment is terrible. Try playing Domination on Shipment and see how many attempts it takes you to capture the B point. Making it so players have to complete objective based challenges means they'll look elsewhere to complete said challenges. This will make it so that they'll stop sniffing the crack that is Shipment and try other maps. Of course, this isn't a remedy to fix the issues with the other maps. That can only be mended by having actually fun to play maps. It does help players experience all the game offers though. Now, I don't think Infinity Ward cares too much about players playing the objective, but for those sorry souls that have to carry their whole team on their back to win a match, I think this change could be beneficial to both sides. I'm open to hear any suggestions you might have as well, or even if you disagree with what I spouted on about. Let us know below, and thank you for watching.
Oh man, I could really go for some right now.